Hi everyone and welcome to the UKG Ready HR and Payroll Spotlight video for our April release. My name is Amanda Boyle and I am a Customer Marketing Specialist for UKG Ready. Today I'll be diving into several enhancements from our upcoming April release. Before we jump into the highlights, I want to take a quick look at our April release calendar. Here, you can find key dates release readiness content will be available and when the release will happen in your pod. Our first payroll enhancement is around improving the admin experience. Payroll admins can now see the system minimum wages report with only payroll enabled. Previously, you needed the TLM module to view this report. They can also opt out of top ABA and bottom ABA fields on bank account setup. The fields are no longer marked as required. And finally, payroll admins can now opt into printing base compensation on a pay statement. Our next two payroll enhancements are around pre-tax year-to-date negatives and deductions. An error will now populate when a negative year-to-date value is found on the payroll statement. Pre-tax deductions with a negative year-to-date value would cause cascading tax issues down the line even after a correction. With the latest enhancement, admins will not be able to close or finalize payroll until the year-to-date negative value is corrected. Next, regarding deductions, once a goal is reached on a deduction code, the system will now automatically end date the code. Previously, the system would stop withholding the code but wouldn't end date it. This enhancement saves admins time and streamlines a manual process. Our final payroll enhancements are around processing payroll improvements. The list of reports on the payroll prep page is now listed in alphabetical order. Error and warning messages will now only be populated in the section of the payroll prep page that the issue is occurring. And once a user selects the back button from the reports page, they will now be returned to the View Payroll section. Moving on to our HR enhancements, first up we have E-Verify. E-Verify has updated its software to a new version, V31. V31 no longer includes SOAP, has added a new case delay reason awaiting response. It no longer allows for duplicate cases, and it includes an option to close a case at scan and upload. This will all be hotfixed prior to the May 1st deadline. Next up, we have positions in performance reviews. During this release, positions are being added to the Generate Notification step in performance reviews. Prior to this release, performance review workflow steps could not be routed by position. Moving on, our next enhancement is around offer letter security. Offer letters will now have the capability to provide access only to end users' respective offer letters. Before this enhancement, offer letter security permissions were set to view or edit, and any user with the necessary security profile could access offer letters that were available in the system, regardless of who had created it. Now, end users who have offer letter security permissions will only be able to access their own offer letters. We have another enhancement around offer letters, this time around system notifications. Organizations can now configure automated notifications to be sent out to stakeholders when an offer letter is assigned, accepted, declined, or expired. Our next enhancement comes from our marketplace partner, eQuest. The latest updates in the eQuest functionality are the following. The pop-up box when clicking on View is now a table ever present on the job rec page itself. When clicking on Post or newly named Access eQuest Premium, All options to post or unpost will occur on the new pop-up page. The new pop-up page itself is completely new. It opens eQuest Premium directly and includes full capabilities on Seek for our Australian customers. Finally, when an applicant applies from an eQuest Premium post and is directed to UKG Ready, it will now update the tracking ID in our reporting. Organizations will have the ability to track where the applicants and their applications are coming from if they are using eQuest Premium. Our final HR enhancement is Copy Compensation Cycle. Users will now have the ability to copy or clone a comp cycle. We know some organizations have multiple compensation cycles, and prior to this enhancement, would have to create and configure each one from scratch. Now that you can copy comp cycles, it's easier to manage tasks and streamline the process. And so that brings us to the end. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.